This is my series where we go over fake Coach bags I find in the wild to help you learn how to self-authenticate your own Coach bags, especially vintage ones. Let's get into it. I have 3 doozies for you today. This first one, I don't even know what this is trying to be. It looks like it has the original paper tag, but this style number doesn't match up to anything. The overall construction is so cheap looking. Look at these handle tabs, it's so basic. Also, these little polka dots of different materials are literally bleeding color out onto the main material of the bag. Another sign that the materials used were really cheap. Now, I think the bag is inspired by this collection from 2005 that had these multicolor rainbow dots. But see how the colors in the white bag are arranged in like a rainbow order, whereas like the colors on this blue bag are just random. We also have a puller style that Coach has never used and would never use. It's very generic and sloppily edge painted. And then if we pull out the lining and the creed patch inside, you can see it has a very plasticky looking emboss. The font for the logo is totally off, and there's no serial number, which is a bad indication. Also, the lining material is just so synthetic and cheap looking. I don't know how they are asking $40 for this bag. It's kind of shameful. Next, I'm going to take you to a curated consignment shop where they're asking $25 for this bag, which I immediately know is fake just by looking at that leopard print material. I've actually encountered that material in my design journeys. I think I've designed with it before too, sadly. But I know that's not something Coach would ever use. But, to the layperson, this might look like it's potentially a Coach bag. I mean, look at the hardware. It's really trying hard to fool you. But one of the giveaways too is that white contrast stitching. Look how far apart those stitches are. That's so cheap. Okay, take us to the inside of the bag. Look at all the puckering around the inner zipper pocket. That means you're using really cheap material and a wide stitch. And then looking at this creed patch, it has no serial number. The logo in the cartouche is totally off. The font is off. This satin cheap material that they use as a lining is not fooling anyone. This generic zipper puller that they use on the inner pocket, Coach would never use that. So really surprised that this made it onto the floors. I don't think the people who review the product that gets sold here would put out a fake knowingly, but they sure have, and it is illegal to sell a bag like this that is trying to be passed off for a real Coach bag. This is not authentic. It's not a style I'm familiar with at all or have ever seen. Now back to the thrift store, we find this vintage Coach Hadley wannabe. Look at the puckering on the binding. It's a dead giveaway. This isn't made of real leather. Here's the bag. It's trying to be number 9935, and they are trying really hard to copy it, but they haven't used any logos, which means this is a dupe, not necessarily an inauthentic fake, although I could see how somebody would pick this up and purchase it thinking it was a vintage Coach bag. The real Hadley has no inner zip pocket and no fabric lining, and it has a creed stamp on that front inner pocket. I wouldn't say this one's illegal to sell, but it's definitely gonna fool some people who aren't paying attention to the details. Hope this helps. Thanks for watching.